And here we are almost 6 months later, and they still don't have simple answers to very worried small business owners across the country. So will the PM finally end his attack on small business owners?
Mr. Speaker, only the Conservatives could see lowering taxes for small businesses as an attack on small businesses. That's how partisan they've become.
Allows owners of small businesses to reduce their taxes by letting family members claim some of that business income. So in July, the government announced a controversial test aimed at weeding out those people who have little or no day-to-day dealings with a company. The government now says that test will not apply to an individual over 65, a family member over 18 who works at least 20 hours a week for the company, or a relative who's over 25 with at least a 10% stake in the business, providing that business meets other income provisions. The changes are now just days away from taking effect, and despite a government assurance that there will be a grace period, many small business operators are worried they will not be ready. Katie Simpson has more on their concerns.
At Taylor Pipe Supports, the heavy lifting happens here on the plant floor.
What's going on? How you doing?
But the owner of the small family business is worried he's about to be weighed down by red tape because of the government's new tax changes.
It's going to become more complex, and there'll be more regulations that we need to follow.
Concern from small business owners is not enough to stop the finance minister's plan to tighten rules around income sprinkling as of January 1st.
For those that are passing income to family members that aren't involved in the business, it's clear that that's no longer going to be considered appropriate.
Bill Morneau is introducing a series of tests to determine whether a business is using income sprinkling as a way to avoid taxes rather than pay family members for legitimate work. He says that only 3% of small businesses will be affected.
For all intents and purposes, this is only going to affect the most wealthy, and most small businesses won't notice anything different.
Today's announcement is a watered-down version of the Liberal vision for tax reform. Morneau was criticized for introducing sweeping changes this past summer, most of which he was forced to abandon.
There is too much uncertainty and too much confusion for the government to proceed.
The Senate Finance Committee is still calling on the government to hold off on any tax changes at all until at least 2019 to better study any unintended consequences. It's an idea Alan Taylor supports.
If I had a Christmas wish, it would be that the government would postpone the implementation of these rules.
But with the House of Commons rising for the holiday break tonight,
a safe, healthy, and happy New Year.
There's little chance of further discussion before the new year. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Ottawa.